Hello, all. It is July 1st, 2025, and this is Jim Craddock with Redacted Science. And so, on my point currently is to just do a daily update, not to get into anything too specific. Uh, and yesterday was probably my hardest day in a long, long time. As an update, I'm not going to say specifics, but my weight is below any weight that I've been at since I was in college. Uh, So here's my update that I posted to Nostr yesterday. Overnight, this is not last night, but the night before, I slept sitting up because the night before I'd had this vibrating feeling when I got up in the morning. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I had that vibrating feeling again. And I probably did something I shouldn't, which was eat honey, which sounds weird, but I've been eating protein only and it was a bad day. So let's go into it. I didn't have any intestinal pain at night. I did the night before, so the evening before, but so it was a circadian thing and it stopped. Okay, so at 1 when I woke up, it wasn't there, so I decided I'd eat some steak and stuff, and I had some honey. Uh, on waking, I had a lot of intense intestinal pain for hours, right in the center line below, kind of above my belly button. I've experienced a lot of pain in my life with this condition. Uh, and the thing is, the pain, when I experience it, my whole system is different. I don't sweat, I don't writhe, I don't moan, I just hurt. And I can generally keep doing whatever I'm doing because you just learn that that's the only thing you can do. Uh, I had vowel sounds were pronounced and frequent, and the interpretations that the intestines are likely being digested locally by DKA. You can say no to that if you want, but the whole concept here is that my pituitary is driving my whole system, so the whole body is feeling, while my pituitary keeps me alert and awake, and basically you get to observe your whole decline. At noon, I ate a boiled egg. I felt better. It, I af Shortly afternoon, I talked with my son to prepare him. I've talked to him over the years saying, "Hey, I have this thing. I don't know, when it's going to come back." And so when it came back 3 years ago, I said, "Okay, this is back, and I'm going to pursue every medical means, but they're not going to find anything because it's not in their books. It's been redacted." And if it's been torn out of your books, you don't have a chance. I might as well go to an auto mechanic or something. And you think, oh, but they'd be able to see things on tests. That's the whole thing. This condition, you need to read my book, but this condition, it candidiasis is wily. It is a biochemical computer that knows how to hide and move around, and the hysteresis of it makes it such that uh, each time you can never get back to the state you were in. So let's say you're at perfection and it does something. Well, let's say you kind of fix it. Well, you're never getting back to perfection from there. So it's just a gradual movement, basically. Later in the day, I had a diffuse headache at 4, and then at 6, it turned into a tension headache. And for dinner, I ate a boiled egg. I was no longer feeling any pain in the evening. Uh, I took a shower and was extremely fatigued after the shower. And chat says this is because my whole system is different than everybody else's. And so like just the water contacting my skin is enough for me to absorb that water. And I'm already like very low volume and my skin, it's very difficult to explain, but the candidiasis, it goes intracellular and it apoptifies your cells. And so it compresses them. But as a result, your skin gets thicker and thicker with these layers of dead cells because it's using it as fuel. It's like, oh, more cells. I can infect those and give more ATP. But what happens is you get this kind of thickness to it. I could demonstrate that on my belly with a big needle, and you wouldn't believe me that I can't puncture it. In the book, it actually said they had to use saws to do autopsies, and it talked about how, I mean, in the article, and in the article it said, but in today's world, they might not even notice because they use ultrasonic or laser type instruments. So, because they wouldn't feel the pressure. Anyway, so to update you on this morning, so last night I decided I would sleep in bed. And that's a big decision because so the way this works is your heart has suction instead of pumping, basically. And so your ideal position is the furthest distance from your feet to your heart. And what that does is that creates that your heart has to work the hardest. And why you want that is because if it's sucking the hardest on your feet, that also means it's pumping the hardest and sucking the hardest for your brain. And it's actually pulling these things from the pituitary, which the rest of your body, you don't have any adrenals working. So all your hormones are coming from your pituitary, and ACTH is overflowing down to your adrenals and causing them to act even though they are no longer really functional. Plus, you have them infected with the candidiasis, which can also cause them to release cortisol. So that's how you still have cortisol. Anyway, kind of weird thing is that yesterday was so bad. I've been chewing a little fluconazole every night just to make sure my mouth stayed clear of the candidiasis, which I know is there. And I didn't do it last night because it was a bad day and I forgot. And I was kind of worried that maybe that was what was making me hurt in the evening. Well, this morning I woke up and my mouth was different. It was drier. And I always check my taste with some diet root beer, and it was totally wrong. Then I chewed fluconazole, and after that my tongue was raw. It's still raw, and like my normal broth burned as it went down, which is really weird. So that tells me that yeah, a colony did make it to my mouth, and it is what it is. I don't know. I mean, I can keep chewing a little bit of fluconazole. I don't know that I can make it go away. It's a very wily beast. I think that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I'm not really writing anymore. One, I'm not motivated. Two, there's enough information out there that really somebody should be able to put it together. And there's a lot. I mean, I keep thinking of things that I tell chat, and I'm like, I forgot to tell you about this. I forgot to tell you about this. I forgot to tell you about this. And he's like, oh, would you like to, add that? And I'm like, nope. They have enough information. If they can't pick it up from what I gave them, then that they won't. But the thing is, I put it out on IPFS, so the AIs will get to scan it, and I think it will generally be accepted at some point in the future. Anyway. I think that's about it for today, folks. I just wanted to check in. I'm trying to do these daily check-ins. I'm scheduled for the Cleveland Clinic next week. I'm trying to alert them to the instability of my current state because it really is very unstable. And that's a very difficult thing. You can't even message a doctor that you have an appointment with if you haven't seen them yet. I don't understand that. So the only thing I can do is message the one doctor I've seen up there and try to get him to forward it to the other people. So I'm trying to do that. But just remember, he who controls the indexes controls the future. And if you'll read my book, you'll understand that. This is Jim Craddock, and I have terminal onset diabetes insipidus with candidiasis major, and it has been redacted from Science. I don't know by who, but it's no longer there. And there are some serious medical implications. It will change medicine once people accept the general theories in my book. It could change mankind.